Hey guys, this is Ranveer Alabadia. This time we're not doing the Ranveer show. We're doing Dell's Tech for Good podcast. We're speaking about sustainability. We're educating ourselves about the future of this planet and all the heroes who are saving the present and the future of this planet. Today, I almost said Ria Mazumdar Shaw, but we've got Ria Mazumdar Singhal, one of India's leading sustainability entrepreneurs. Her brand's EcoWare. It's all about biodegradable cutlery. And I have so many questions just because of that one single thought. But what I also need to mention is that Ria is the winner of the Nari Shakti Puraskar as well, one of India's highest civilian honors. Ria, welcome to the Tech for Good podcast by Dell.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
What's the core idea? How did you figure that you wanted to combine sustainability with something as artistic as cutlery? Where did all this start?
In 2009, I left the pharma world. I got married and I moved to Delhi. And I think the two things that struck me were, one is that we were so freely using plastic and no one was aware of the negative health impact, right? And second, as an adult, to throw all my waste in one dustbin was just something I had never done, having spent my life abroad. So the challenges of waste segregation and waste management were real, and they still are today. What we do is really simple. We take agricultural waste, so wheat, rice, sugarcane, and we convert it into packaging that's 100% compostable and biodegradable, thereby replacing single-use plastic.
Very straight up question. Do you believe we're going into a better world or a slightly more, for lack of a better word, wrecked world from an environmental perspective?
I think we've wrecked the world. I think we are, trying to fix it. The question is, are we acting fast enough for me? So I know a lot of people are making commitments. We're seeing the big corporates do it, but I think we need to move quicker. And I think what we're also seeing is this new wave of entrepreneurs that are coming out, and they are tackling some of the most challenging problems that we face today, which is fantastic because they are so purpose-driven and, they're out there finding solutions.
Yeah, the obvious answer in my head, and this is the entrepreneur inside me speaking up, I believe is artificial intelligence-based products. Over the next 20 years, we're going to see an improvement in AI. And even if there is a lack of motivation amongst people who are willing to go to wastelands and clean it up, I believe there will be robots possibly that will learn to do the same and then clean up that landfill that you spoke of. If we make it that far, if the human race makes it that far.
Sure. I mean, just, from my peers, I've seen colleagues use AI to help plastic waste segregation, right? I've seen, I've got another friend who basically, to help farmer yield, introduced solar irrigation and solar pumps. And now to prevent, he improved yield and then realized that there's still wastage from the time the crop leaves the farmer to the mandi. So has now provided, solar trucks, refrigerated trucks, basically, solar refrigerated trucks to help overcome that wastage. We're seeing a lot of, I've got friends who make drones and work, and help, again, farmers improve yield, reduce wastage. We're seeing smart cities, right? Technology in there where it's would helps improve safety and just the general functioning of a city.
I'm very inspired by concepts of AI because of reading Yuval Noah Harari, who keeps promoting the...
Yes.
Have you read Yuval?
No, I've heard. I mean, I was having a conversation about this just 2 days ago with someone else, but yeah.
Yeah, so he speaks a lot about AI, especially in his most recent book, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. And the kind of things he's just said about AI, while we're still about 30 to 40 years away from the predictions he's made, it's really going to change up a lot of aspects of human existence. So that's my big hope. When your kids are your age, what kind of world do you think they'll be living in? Considering the fact that there's more entrepreneurs like yourself who are making an impact, considering the fact that AI is going to progress, and I'm sure there's going to be someone somewhere who combines the world of sustainability and artificial intelligence.
So you're probably too young to remember this cartoon, but do you remember Jetsons?
I'm not too young to remember that. Like, I mean, it was one of my favorite cartoons.
So I often wonder whether it's going to be a bit of a Jetsons moment, actually. But look, I think, technology will obviously play a huge part. I think more so than it does now. We saw that if you compare like my parents' generation to, us where we are now. So that's a natural, I think that's just a natural curve, and I think that's what's going to happen. But you're right. I think there's a very promising part that AI can play to help solve a lot of issues that we face. And like I said, I think that if we get this right, then we definitely would have, hopefully, a more sustainable, a greener planet, cleaner air to breathe, and we won't be, facing the same challenges that we are right now. I mean, we probably have different challenges, but hopefully we would have gotten our act right, and we would have created a more sustainable world.
What's the process of creating biodegradable cutlery? And how is tech involved, and at what stages is it involved?
The technology we use is thermoforming. So the pulp is it's like a slurry, a wet foam, and it's fed through machines. There are these molds. There's a suction element to it. So it goes through an extreme amount of heat to set the product, to sterilize the product, and the product's formed, and then it goes down to QC and sort of our packing department, and then it's dispatched. So I think for us, technology is certainly an enabler. It has, that's sort of the back end and the manufacturing side. But I think for us, one of the key challenges that we faced when we started was none of our stakeholders understood what biodegradable meant, what compostable meant, right? And I think in terms of reaching masses, reaching people and accelerating this education drive, I think that's where technology has played a huge part for us.
What's your message to end consumers? Because how do they actually go about that process of using sustainable products? Like, I mean, I don't know as a consumer, like if I want to go buy disposable cutlery for a party, I will tell one of my guys to go get it. But what should that guy know? Like, and what should I be telling him? Like, can you get it at your local stores? Are you supposed to look for it? Do you get it online?
Yeah, you get it. We have our own e-commerce website on ecoware.in. We are on Amazon as well. So you could get us on amazon.in. We are, and we're Prime vendors. So that's a quick delivery to you guys.
And do you see just generally more sustainable businesses coming up in India as of now? Like, do you see things in process?
Like I said, we're seeing more purpose-driven entrepreneurs. And I love the fact that when the rest of the world sees a problem or sees something, they see a problem, they're like, okay, it's a problem, they walk away. Entrepreneurs see it as a solution. They see it as an opportunity to fix something, right? And that's really what we're seeing. And they're so impact-driven, which is fantastic. And I genuinely believe they are tackling some of our key problems today.
What's the goal for you as a person? Like, what's your driving factor? Are you just very outward, and are you, just looking at the overall scheme of things in the world? What's driving you?
I think that just, the fact that, we're out there, we're creating value. There's, value to the consumer, value to the farmer, value to every stakeholder involved. I don't want to do something just for doing it. I'm not interested in that. So impact is very important. And even from a health perspective, we are reducing the exposure to plastic and hence reducing the exposure to disease. And health impact has been very important to me. My mother's had breast cancer twice. Once this disease sort of entered our home and our house and our family, we changed behavior. We stopped, we removed plastic from the house as much as possible. I definitely stopped microwaving anything in plastic and, drinking out of plastic water bottles. And, I was 19, my sister was, 14, 15 at the time. So it it was a change in behavior.
Is there any parting message you have for the listeners of the Tech for Good podcast by Dell?
In terms of consumers and the listeners, I would please request that, my call to action would be say no to plastic as much as you can. It isn't healthy for you. It's not healthy for your family in any way or the environment. So start behaving differently and spread that message.
Riya Mazumdar-Singhal, thank you for being on the Tech for Good podcast by Dell. I hope you enjoyed this experience, and good luck with everything that you're doing. And we will be seeing you on magazine covers and on books and all these places. So keep doing your thing.
Thank you. That is very, very kind of you. Thank you very much.
That was a beautiful, educative conversation with Riya Mazumdar-Singhal. Experienced entrepreneurs like her are creating a massive positive change, and they're doing it one day at a time. So if you also want to be a part of that positive change, make sure you participate in Dell Futurists Tech for Good Challenge.